Hey friends, welcome back to At Home with Sonja. If you love seasonal decorating, budget-friendly home styling, and easy DIYs, you're in the right place. Today I'm bringing you my biggest spring decorate with me video of 2025, a non-stop decorating marathon filled with fresh spring inspiration to help you refresh your home for the season. We'll be decorating every space in the home, from the entryway to the kitchen, the living room, and more, with tons of affordable decorating ideas, simple high-end DIY look for lesses, plus I'll be sharing tips to create that cozy, inviting spring vibe without breaking the bank. And make sure to stick around until the end because I'll be wrapping it all up with a full spring home tour where you'll get to see every decorated space come together beautifully. So grab a cup of coffee, get cozy, and let's decorate together. And don't forget to hit that like button if you love spring decorating and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming home inspirations. If you've been following along, you know I love starting with a clean slate. I've taken down all the previous decor so I can style everything from scratch, bringing in soft textures, natural elements, and light and airy colors to create a fresh and inviting space for spring. I'm starting with the fireplace as the focal point of the room. One of my favorite pieces, a beautiful lantern from HomeSense that I've had for a while, is making its way back into this space. To style it, I'm adding a vase that I recently gave a makeover to match one of my favorite crate and barrel designs. If you missed that DIY, I share the full transformation over on my DIY channel. Inside the vase, I'm adding delicate pink florals from Dollarama, which brings such a soft and elegant touch. I am adding a total of 3 stems. To the opposite side, I'm incorporating one of my thrifted DIY vases filled with lush, greeny, leafy stems I found on Temu. And to add warmth and dimension, I'm bringing in my repurposed candlesticks. These used to be a mercury silver color, but I refinished them to have a more rustic wood-like appearance. Finally, I wanted to complete the space with one more vintage touch, so I added a thrifted candlestick holder along with a simple candle. Now the fireplace feels refreshed, cozy, and perfect for spring. Next, I'm moving on to the coffee table. To create a layered and collected look, I'm starting with the beautiful tray that I thrifted. On it, I'm styling a textured stone look pot from Dollarama, which I've had for a few years now, and inside I'm placing a small pot of greenery for a fresh pop of life. In the center of the table, I'm stacking a few thrifted coffee table books. Whenever I'm whenever I am out thrifting, I love looking for books with linen covers in neutral tones that complement my decor. To enhance the arrangement, I'm adding my new soy candle from HomeSense, which not only looks beautiful but also smells amazing. Another favorite HomeSense find I'm including is a decorative magnifying glass. A quick tip, if you have a magnifying glass or a mirror in your decor, always be mindful of where the sunlight hits it. I actually had an incident while cleaning my daughter's room where the sun hit a magnifying mirror at just the right angle and it burned a hole in the window trim. Luckily, I caught it in time, but it was definitely a lesson learned. Finally, to complete the coffee table, I'm bringing in another one of my DIY vases and filling it with thrifted daisies I found for just $2 back in January. The combination of soft florals, neutral tones, and vintage inspired pieces creates such a timeless and fresh spring feel. Now moving on to the side table, I'm styling with few of my favorite pieces. First, I'm bringing in two black candlesticks from HomeSense and topping them with simple tapered candles. Next, I'm adding a handsome. Next, I'm adding a handmade paper mache bowl from my DIY channel, which adds an organic sculptural touch to the space. To tie everything together, I'm incorporating another DIY vase filled with lush leafy stems from Timo. One of the most special additions to this space is a framed family photo. This picture of my father-in-law with my kids was taken just one day before he passed away, making it incredibly meaningful to have it displayed here. Finally, to add comfort and color, I'm styling the chairs on either side of the table with beautiful olive green velvet pillowcases from Timo, which adds such a cozy yet elegant touch. For the final area, the couch, I'm keeping it simple yet inviting. I'm layering a texture blanket that I've had and loved for years, which adds warmth and mix of pattern and textures. For pillows, I'm starting with the brown one that originally came with my Ashley couch, then layering it on patterned pillowcases from Temu. To add a bit of variety, I'm also including a lumbar pillow, also from Temu. These are all pillowcases. If you order pillow covers from Temu, just keep in mind that they come in different sizes, so be sure to check the dimensions before purchasing to get the look you want. After placing everything, I felt like something was missing, so I added a set of beautiful fringe pillowcases with beautiful fringe details from Temu, which really completed the look. Now, looking around the room, I'm so happy with how everything has come together. The mix of greenery, soft florals, and fresh textures has completely transformed the space and brought the perfect breath of fresh air for spring. I'd love to hear what you think of this refresh. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite piece or if you are decorating for spring too. Don't forget to check out the other videos in my spring decorating series. If you haven't already, there's so much inspiration waiting for you. I will have them all linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye! I've cleared off my countertops, leaving only my everyday essentials. Plus, I have an exciting new spot to decorate a DIY shelf on the side of my pantry. I'll be mixing new and old decor, incorporating DIY projects, thrifted finds, and affordable pieces to create a fresh and inviting spring look. So let's get started. Starting off on my island, I'm adding a wood tray that has been here for a few seasons now, along with a jug vase from HomeSense that I picked up several years ago. Unfortunately, I don't have a link for it. To the vase, I'm adding these wispy green stems from Timo. I love how sparse they are, giving a light and airy look. To help the branches sit better in the vase, I used a vase filler, repurposing some reusable bags since I have plenty of them. Next, I'm adding my rattan vase, also from Temu, along with these cute little flowers for a fresh touch. To complete the arrangement, I picked up a new soy candle from HomeSense in an ocean and driftwood scent. Finally, to finish off the tray, I'm placing a small concrete bird, a DIY project I made several years ago. Moving on to my countertops, I'm incorporating a thrifted seagrass tray. Inside, I am placing a ceramic pot filled with wooden spoons and a whisk. I'm also, alongside of it, adding my DIY vintage salt and pepper shakers. If you missed the DIY, I shared it in one of my first decorating videos this year. I'm also adding another DIY vase with some fall flower stems from a Dollarama. On the opposite side, I'm adding a thrifted wooden bowl and I'm filling it with wild fruits that I also thrifted. To cover some outlets, I'm layering vintage cutting boards. To tie in some warmth, I'm adding a gold trim tray from HomeSense, which balances the gold accents from the other side of my kitchen. On this tray, I'm placing a thrifted glass vase filled with tiny boxwood greenery from Dollarama. And I'm also adding some vintage all vintage spice bottles I picked up at a garage sale. This DIY shelf was a recent project I shared on my DIY channel. Almost everything I'm adding to it was featured in that video, except for this wooden bunny I made in a previous project. I'm also laying in a kitchen towel from HomeSense and a wicker basket filled with garlic from Timo. A great way to combine decor with function. I wanted to change things up at my coffee station this season. I'm using my DIY Magnolia dupe tray and I'm adding a diffuser to create a cozy atmosphere. Apologies in advance for the awkward camera angles. This corner is tricky to film. I'm also adding a tall vase with some cherry blossoms from Michael's. They bring in a beautiful spring touch. I'm going to be keeping the rest of the counter clear since we use this area daily for coffee and tea, and too much decor gets in the way. To make the coffee station shelf more functional, I'm styling it with a glass jar of coffee beans that I just picked up at Dollarama, a small concrete cup for spoons, and flavored syrup in a glass bottle. On the opposite side, I'm placing a rattan pot with greenery from Dollarama, which I gave a mini makeover to achieve that rattan look. On the top, I'm adding another DIY vase with some more Dollarama florals. And I also wanted to ground the space, so I brought in a wooden tray and a candle from HomeSense. I debated DIYing it, but for now, I love how it looks as is. At this point, something felt a little off. I moved stuff around and I added a stack of cookbooks and used the candle as a bookend. This small change made everything feel more cohesive. The original florals weren't quite right, so I swapped them out for a smaller vase with delicate Timu flowers. Now I love how it all came together. For the final touch, I am swapping out my wooden kitchen sink tray for a silicone marble one from Timo. My old wooden tray wasn't practical, it stained whenever it got wet. So this tray I'm adding my amber glass soap dispensers for hand soap and dish soap. That completes my spring kitchen decorate with me. I hope this video gave you tons of inspiration to refresh your kitchen for the season. Let me know in the comments, are you starting to decorate for spring? What's the first room you're working on? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future decor inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Given the space a deep clean and wash the floors. Now that everything is fresh, I'm ready to start decorating. Here's a look at some of the decor pieces I'll be working with today. I'm still debating whether to add the cast wrought iron candle holders to the wall. I have few options in mind, so we'll see which one works best. I also have lots of different vases, lots of different florals, and then a few decor pieces that I am thinking about adding. To start, I'm focusing on my Hutch, bringing in a mix of familiar and new pieces. I loved how these two vases looked together during my winter decorating, so I'm incorporating them again. I'm also bringing back my favorite painting for a timeless touch. For the larger vase, I'm adding 3 beautiful floral stems from Dollarama, which bring in a soft and neutral spring feel. For the smaller vase, I have this unique tulip pot that I DIY'd years ago, and I think it adds just the right touch of charm. At first, I considered leaving the opposite side of the hutch more minimal, but I decided to add a small lamp I picked up from Temu. However, after stepping back, I wasn't loving the way it fit the space, so stay tuned to see what I replace it with. Moving down to the first shelf of the hutch, I kept things very simple by adding my recently DIYed small vase with greenery. I wanted to keep the styling cohesive, so I added a couple of decor pieces to mirror the arrangement on the second shelf. On the bottom section of the hutch, I placed my wicker basket, filling it with some fall apples for a natural farmhouse touch. I also included a small vase with baby's breath to keep things light and airy. Once I stepped back, I wasn't quite satisfied, so I made few adjustments until I got the perfect balance. Here is the final result. A minimal yet inviting spring display that I absolutely love. I'll be adding some Easter decor later in the season, but for now, this setup feels just right. Next, I'm styling my tea cart, which is a cozy little nook in a dining area. I started by placing a vase I've had for a while, but I switched out the florals for larger, more vibrant flowers from Dollarama that I recently picked up. They make a statement in this corner and bring in a fresh, lively feel. To add some texture and dimension, I experimented with the vintage candlesticks and concrete candle holder, but I wasn't loving the combination. After some rearranging, I finally found a look I was going for. I also added my wood adobe candle to the tea card, as you saw. On the bottom shelf, I added in my galvanized rug with a moss sphere, which is a fun seasonal touch. I may swap it out for Easter egg decor later, but for now I love how it adds a bit of texture. For the dining table, I started with the simple table runner, though you might notice a small wet spot as I try to remove a stain. These cannot be washed. They're in a washing machine. They can only be spot treated. To keep the setup functional yet stylish, I added my go-to vase filled with soft pink florals from Dollarama that I picked up a few years ago. I love how they brighten up the space without being overpowering. Since we eat dinner at this table daily, I kept the decor light and easy to move so it's practical for everyday use. And now here's the final look. This spring refresh turned out exactly how I envisioned: simple, cozy, and perfect for the season. While I don't consider myself a minimalist, this setup feels lighter and more intentional compared to some of my past designs. The soft florals, natural textures, and neutral tones create such a welcoming atmosphere. And can we take a moment to appreciate these beautiful curtains? I added them back at Christmas time and I love how they soften the space while providing a bit of privacy, especially since my neighbors are so close. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the full spring decorating series playlist linked down below for even more seasonal inspiration. And stay tuned, my next video will be a full spring home tour where I'll be taking you through all the cozy seasonal touches I've added throughout my home. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell turned on so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Here's what my front entryway looks like before. Pretty bare with just my console table and a new tree that I'm adding. I started by giving everything a deep clean, wiping down walls, dusting, and moving the furniture to clean behind it. Now, with a fresh slate, it's time to decorate. First, I'm starting with my new tree. This was a DIY project from my DIY channel. I originally made a pot for it, but it ended up being too small. If you watched my HomeSense shop with me and haul video, you probably saw the gorgeous new pot I picked up. It has a beautiful textured concrete look, so elegant and perfect for adding some depth to this corner. However, since the pot is quite deep, I needed to fill it up. Instead of using heavy filler, I repurposed some of the many reusable shopping bags I've accumulated. We all forget to bring them to the store, right? To cover the bags, I layered some craft paper and then topped it with floral moss from Dollar Tree. To keep the moss in place, especially with Duke's tail constantly brushing by, I gave it a quick spray with hairspray off camera. Now it looks polished and put together in this corner. I love how put together this corner looks now, and I'm still so obsessed with my new curtains. I think everything comes together beautifully. Now moving on to the wall, I'm adding my home sign. I've been thinking about switching things up here, maybe some decorative hooks or framed landscape print. Let me know in the comments what you think. But for now, I'm keeping the home sign and layering a lush boxwood wreath. I love the pop of greenery, and I'm actually planning to make a custom wreath for this space soon. If you're interested in seeing that DIY, be sure to follow my DIY channel. Now on to the console table styling. First, I'm bringing back my thrifted lamp that I made over. I love its shape and how it adds warmth to the space. Below it, I'm placing a woven basket from HomeSense, which is a staple in this entryway. Inside the basket, I'm adding a cozy textured throw blanket that I picked up at Dollarama. It has beautiful fringe detail and has been one of my favorites for a few seasons now. On the other side of the table, I'm adding my DIY vase which I styled with a delicate baby's breath from Dollarama. had to adjust the stems a bit to get the fullness I wanted, but now they sit perfectly in the vase. Next to the vase, I'm incorporating brass stone candlesticks from Timo. I love mixing materials in my decor, and these bring in gorgeous metallic element alongside the stone, wicker, and wood textures. To complete the look, I'm using Dollar Tree tapered candles, an amazing high-end dupe for only $1.75. To keep them straight in the holders, I melted a bit of wax at the base before securing them in place. It's not a perfect fix, but it helps them stay upright longer. In the center of the table, I'm stacking a couple of thrifted coffee table books in neutral tones. On top, I'm placing a wicker storage box from Timo, adding another layer of texture. And to finish off the look, I'm going to style the rest of the lower shelf. Opposite the basket, I'm adding geometric decorative objects from HomeSense along with my DIY bowl, filled with wooden and twig spears for an organic touch. And that's it. My spring entryway refresh is complete. I love how fresh, clean, and inviting it feels now. If you're looking for even more console table styling ideas, be sure to check out my console table decorate with me video where I share multiple styling options for different seasons. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite part of this refresh was. And that wraps up my spring entryway refresh. I love how clean, cozy, and welcoming this space feels now, and I hope it gave you some inspiration for your own home. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of this makeover, and if you have any ideas for the wall above my and if you have any ideas for the wall by my door, I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more budget-friendly decorating ideas and seasonal home styling. You can also check out my console table decorate with me video for even more styling tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy decorating! Here is what my bedroom looks like now. It's been like this since I took down the Christmas decor. I was really hoping to do a full makeover, but there's just so much I want to do. I still haven't found the perfect bed yet, and I also want to tackle painting the walls, adding an accent wall, and updating the trim and flooring. However, those big changes will have to wait for now, so I've decided to give the room a mini spring refresh. I just can't stand the way it looks anymore, so it's time to add some new touches, new pillows, and new decor. This will be a simple refresh until I'm ready for a full makeover. First, I've already made the bed and added my bedding. I absolutely love this bedding I got from Temu last year during I shared this in the fall haul, and it's perfect for spring, especially our spring here. I'm adding in some decorative pillows. Usually I go with big Euro pillows at the back, but today I wanted to try something different. I've been using the Euro style for years, but I thought it was time to switch it up. I've added these striped pillows from HomeSense that I picked up a few years ago. They're a great texture and perfect for a fresh look. Next, I'm adding these beautiful accent pillows that I found on Temu. The brown tones and floral patterns are exactly what I'm loving this season. For the lumbar pillow, I used a pillowcase from Temu as well. It all ties together beautifully. Now I was debating on which blanket to add. My bed is massive and finding the right blanket that fits properly is a challenge. It's still very cold here in Ontario, and we're actually getting hit by the biggest storm of the year tonight. So I like to have an extra blanket at the foot of the bed just in case I need to pull it up. Sometimes the duvet is just too much for me, especially lately when I've been running a bit hot, but I do need extra warmth for those chilly nights. Moving on to my side table, I'm keeping the same lamps that I've had for a while, but I gave them a little makeover. Here's what the lamp looked like before, and I gave it 2 coats of charcoal chalk paint from Rust-Oleum for a fresh, updated look. It gives the lamp a much needed refresh, and I'm loving how it's turned out. How it turned out. The lampshades are starting to look a little yellow on the inside after years of use, so I might replace them soon, but for now, they work. I also added a small vase with dried hydrangeas from my garden. I sprayed them with hairspray to help keep them intact and thought a few flowers have fallen off. They're still holding up beautifully. I did cut them in springtime, not now. To complete the look, I added a couple of books and placed the vase on top. It adds a simple touch of greenery to the side table. The other side of the table is my husband's, and he likes to keep it clear, so I've just added a small basket for his things, key, phone, wallet, and that kind of stuff. Next, let's talk about my dresser. I had this DIY sign on it for a while, but I'm moving away from signs with words and just wasn't loving it anymore. So I decided to repurpose it. Inspired by a piece I saw on Wayfair that was priced at almost $800, I created my own version using drywall compound to give it a textured look. I'll share a full tutorial all over on my DIY channel, so make sure you've subscribed if you want to see it. I also add the link is in the description box. I also added some stripes using a daycare craft tool, which really added a unique touch. So I'm placing this painting back onto my dresser, playing around until trying to figure out which way to place it and which way looks better. The best way is to place an object that you want to use, step back, have a look, and if it's not working, play around with it, step back, and just repeat the process until you are satisfied with the way things look. Now, this painting was a wedding gift from my husband's cousin from Europe, and it has a certificate of authenticity. The frame isn't exactly my favorite. It's hunter green, so I might paint it or update it in the future. But for now, it's perfect on the dresser. I'm adding my new DIY vase to this space. This was a thrift find that I recently made over on my DIY channel. You can check that out. It's also in the description box. And I also talked about it in my recent haul video. To style it for spring, I'm adding some greenery from Temu. After stepping back and looking at it, I felt like something was missing. So I decided to add a wicker vase from Temu as well, along with some more greenery, and then a candle and a candle holder. But when I stepped back again, I wasn't loving it. I felt too crowded on my husband's side of the bed. So I switched things around and I moved the vase to the other side and paired it with another black vase. Then I added some beautiful silk flowers from Temu. At that point, I was really happy with how it was coming together. And now it was time to move on to the other side of the dresser. And here I added my new thrifted coffee table book. My husband wanted me to include this cross somewhere, so I tried to find the right spot for it. I ended up laying it on top of the dresser. And just to finish off the styling, I placed a DIY bowl with some wicker balls on top of the book. Next up is the fireplace area. It took me a while to figure out how to style it. I played around with vases, pictures, and decor, but nothing was really working. I also wanted to mention that do want to remake some of the furniture as well as this fireplace here. I really enjoy the new furniture with natural wood look, but I'm not sure whether I should do the whole three sets, I mean, all the dressers and the nightstands in that color, or if I should mix and match, maybe add some black. I will not be replacing the furniture pieces, I will just be making them over. And also, I want to do a little spruce up of this fireplace. If you guys have any ideas on what would look good, I would love to know down in the comments. At this point, I felt like the wicker vase that I had placed here wasn't working, so I ended up switching it out for a block vase from the dresser, and I added the wicker vase back onto the dresser, which you'll see in just a minute. After trying a few different combinations, I added some long leafy greenery from Timu for height and balance, which really completed the look. On my tall dresser, I wanted to add some personal touches to the space. The piece of driftwood was a souvenir from a cottage where we spent many summers. My golden retriever loved swimming at the lake, and it holds a lot of sentimental value. I also added some pictures and DIY wooden bowl with a candle for some warmth and coziness. I also brought in another black vase and added that original fall flowers that were in the block vase on a dresser into this one, and I think this looked much better. I do feel that I need to purchase some more artwork, whether it thrifted or create some DIY artwork wouldn't be bad either, because I am finding that this room was lacking in that. I'm adding some personal pictures as you saw, but I feel like that little frame that's at the back of the pictures is just not working right now, and I think some vintage print would look really good here. Now back to the fireplace, I did add this little wicker basket. I think this is great. I'm going to be leaving my jewelry here when not wearing it. So now let's take one last look at the refreshed bedroom. I love how the room feels cozy, lived in, and full of character without being too crowded. It's exactly what I needed for this mini spring refresh. And finally, here's a look at the room with just the lamps on for some soft ambient lighting. I think looks so cozy and peaceful, and I'm really happy with how it all came together. I hope you enjoyed this 2025 primary bedroom mini makeover and decorate with me video. Let me know what you think about my spring refresh in the comments below. Do you like how it turned out? And if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more decor ideas. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my DIY channel if you're looking for more DIY ideas and home makeovers. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm starting in my entryway, where you'll find my large eucalyptus tree in this beautiful textured pot. One of the first changes I made in this space is adding this bright yellow forsythia wreath to my entryway sign. Nothing says spring quite like pops of yellow, and this wreath was actually a dupe from Crate and Barrel I recently created on my DIY channel. On my entryway table, I kept things simple and inviting by styling it with a lamp, florals, books, and candles. To soften the space, I added a basket with a blanket underneath, along with the wood sphere in a decorative bowl, a small detail that brings warmth and texture. Moving into my living room, I didn't change much since decorating it for the season. I just swapped out a few pillows to freshen up the space. But be sure to stay tuned because I'll be adding Easter touches soon, including a small room makeover and a little surprise. I'm finally adding blinds that I'm so excited about. If you've been following me for a while, you know I love incorporating florals into my decor, and this room is a perfect example of that. You'll see a variety of florals and green stems throughout, adding a fresh, vibrant touch of spring. I always aim for my home to feel intentional and curated while still being budget friendly. A lot of my decor pieces come from thrift stores, and many of my stems are from Dollarama, proving that you don't need to spend a fortune to achieve a beautiful space. And when I find decor pieces I love that are out of my price range, I always look for ways to recreate them for a fraction of the cost. Now let's head into the dining room, and of course, here's Mr. Duke, never too far from me. When he lays down with his paws fanned out, he looks like a giant seal. This space was the last room I decorated in my spring decorating series, so not much has changed here. I like to keep my table simple since we eat dinner here almost every night, making it easy to move decor on and off. My hutch is probably the most minimal it has ever been, and honestly, I think this light and airy feel is exactly what I want for spring. If you're enjoying this tour so far, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel and lets me know you love these seasonal home tours. And if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and join our community. Next, we have the kitchen and family room. I didn't share a family room decorating video this year because honestly, there isn't much space to decorate. There isn't much to decorate in that space. I kept my coffee table styling minimal with a paper mache bowl and added a few lavender stems for a soft pop of color. My side table has few decorative pieces as well, but again, I wanted to keep it simple and uncluttered. For my kitchen, function is key. I like to keep my island mostly clear since we use it daily for meal prep and eating, but I still added a touch of decor to bring in some warmth. I styled my coffee station a little differently this season, focusing more on functionality while still incorporating decor. I wanted it to feel both practical and inviting, making it easy to use every day. I also updated the counter space in this area, keeping it more usable with less decor. Simplifying the space allows for a clean, organized look while still maintaining a cozy and stylish feel. The same goes for my countertops, a little styling without sacrificing functionality. One of my favorite additions this year is this new shelf, which has become such a cute and functional styling nook that I absolutely love. And here is Frank. He absolutely loves the outdoors and spends 3 seasons out of the year either roaming the backyard or napping on the deck. Don't mind the backyard, it's that in between season where the snow is almost gone and it's definitely time for some major cleanup. The last room I'm sharing in today's spring home tour is my master bedroom, where I carry through the same fresh and airy feel as the rest of the house. I wanted this space to feel calm, inviting, and perfect for the season, so I kept the decor light and simple, incorporating soft textures, florals, and a mix of neutral and pastel tones. This room is truly a sanctuary, and I love how just a few small changes can make such a big impact. Keeping everything intentional and cohesive throughout my home helps create a harmonious flow from room to room. Let me know in the comments, do you switch up your bedroom decor for spring? I'd love to hear how you refresh your space for the season. And that wraps up my Spring Home Tour 2025. I hope this gave you some fresh ideas and inspiration for your own home. If you want more decorating content, be sure to check out my spring playlist in the description box where you'll find all my decorating, shopping, and haul videos. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe and join our community of home lovers. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss my upcoming Easter decorating videos. There are some exciting changes coming. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.